So this is the first Fluency resource I have. This website is called TeachingBooks. It's a really great website for incorporating literature into every content area of teaching. There's a lot of things we can do with this website, but for today, I'm just going to focus on the fluency aspects of the website. There are different resources on the page. This is just the home page, but you can look at the For Students page, which has resources catered specifically for students and makes it a little bit more easily navigable for students. There's also the For Educators page, but for now, I'm just going to go to Browse. So one of the strongest research-based ways of teaching fluency is by modeling, letting students hear how the text is supposed to be read, showing porosity, inflection, the rate at which text is read. And then another teaching strategy for fluency is reader's theater, and this site can help with both of those strategies. So this site has thousands of books for every grade level, K through 12. A lot of them are award winners. You can sort by award winners. There's a lot of different ways you can find books that you need. A lot of these are really high quality literature. So it's stuff that you can find in classrooms, in libraries, things that are winning awards, things that have lessons assigned to them, that sort of thing. So this is the Browse page. They have a lot of, basically their main categories. You can browse by award, different series that are popular, lists that the books have made. So these are just really specific, basically ways of categorizing the books. So we have refugee books, kids books about Muslim kids, just specific lists that have been curated by the website, specific authors and illustrators, books, and then see all collections. So we're going to look at this, and this is all the different ways that the stories can be categorized. But what I'm going to look at is resource type. So what we're going to look at is read-along audiobook performances. To load. So there's 19,512 results as of right now. Resources, books that have audiobook performances along with them through the site, even if it's just a small snippet. That way kids can really get an understanding of what they're supposed to be reading like, again, that modeling fluency. So you can break it down. So if you just want kids to say, hey, listen, to modeling, make notes about like pace, that kind of thing, they can select for themselves the, let's say, genre. So what kinds of things are they interested in? Do they like graphic novels? Do they like horror books? Do they like mystery? There's also a cultural experience tab on teaching reading for if your student wants to see themselves in the book, if they come from a specific background, they like reading about people like them, or they want to learn more about people who aren't like them. There's different backgrounds, identities, because I know for some kids it is harder than for other kids to see themselves in books. And that's something that's important. So they can sort by that. If you want them to only look at award-winning books, that kind of thing. If you want books published within a current time span, the format of the resource, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to pick a random book. We'll do The Day You Begin. Okay, and there's a lot of different resources. I might talk about these in another one of my videos, but since we're just focusing on fluency, these are the book readings. So there's 4 different options. There's a video reading narrated by Jacqueline Woodson, who is the author, reading narrated by Julie Andrews. So if your students have that celebrity connection, they're more entertained by that. And these are outside sources, but the TeachingBooks website curates them based on research, what works. They're filtered. They don't just let anything onto the site. So if I wanted to pick anything, I could say we're going to listen to the author read the book, and it opens up the YouTube video in the site so that they don't have to go and actually see the website. So it just starts in here.
Hi, it's Marley Dice. Welcome to Bookmark.
They didn't like this one, they could go back, pick a different one. If they like the Julie Andrews, this does open Julie's website, so it will take them to an external site. this one
Disney
is
invites
just
you
an
to the
audiobook. So if
Thanksgiving
you want
movie
them to
event
just
for the whole
listen,
family.
And this is my library.
this is a good option for
Every
that.
week, I'm joined by my daughter, Emma.
So yeah. So there, like I said, about 19,000 books on this website that have accompanying audiobooks so that students can listen if they do have, maybe they have the physical book in front of them, but they have struggles with reading if they're at a different level, if you're doing whole class books, or if they just need additional support, if they have a reading disability or an additional challenge. That's a good resource for them, and also just modeling that prosody and the fluency. And then another resource that they have on here is text-based readers' theaters. So you can sort differently. Some readers' theater books don't have audiobooks associated with them, but you can also sort so that you get books that have both read-along audio performances and the readers' theater. So I'm going to find, there's so many different options that they have, which is cool, but there we go. So here's the readers' theater. So all of these books, there's 264 books that have both read-along performances and the readers' theater scripts. Here in a minute, I'll look at how many have just the readers' theater scripts, but that's 200 theater scripts that you can use in conjunction with one of these books. So if you're teaching Wonder, I know that's a popular one to teach, you can have students do a readers' theater activity based on Wonder or out of this book. And it might get them a little bit more excited to do readers' theater if it's from something that's familiar to them. Say they really like the one and only Ivan. Well, you guys get to put on a performance, and one of you is going to be Ivan, and one of you is going to be the other character. So that they're more involved. They might have like a better understanding of what the characters are like. They can embody them better, teach them a little bit about dialogue, inflection, how to change your voice when you read, that kind of thing. So I'll just pick randomly, whoosh. And if I go down to activities and lessons, there is the reader's theater script. So it just opens that up. This is something you can print out for students. And then it just follows along with the story of reader's theater. So most of the options are like that. And like I said, there's hundreds of resources. So if I didn't care about the audiobooks, I just wanted to have the reader's theater, you can see how many are there just for that. Here's the scripts. So there's 500 reader's theater resources on the site that are associated with popular books that are being read in classrooms, which I think is really neat. It's a really helpful resource for students. Some other things on this site that may not help particularly with fluency, but are still really neat to include. There's a lot of videos. If you do like using media in the classroom, there are a lot of videos of the authors talking about the books, talking about why they wrote them, how they wrote them, illustrator talks, interviews, that sort of thing. And there's lots and lots of other resources on this website for students to use independently and for teachers who are trying to create lessons. So I definitely recommend getting into this website and really looking around because there's so much it offers, and I'll get into it a little bit more in some of the other videos for the other categories that I'll be talking about. But this was Teaching Books for Fluency.